You're listening to Estrogen Dropouts.
Welcome back to Estrogen Dropouts. I'm one of your hosts, Elizabeth.
And I'm your other host, Erin. Today, our episode is dedicated to gift giving. With the holidays around the corner, we all have gifts to buy, and we always have that one person in our life that may be a hard person to buy for. So we're going to give you some good ideas today on gifts.
Before we kick off our ideas on gifts, let me just go over some ideas on how to help you figure out what a good gift would be. My general rule is I like to think, what is someone using in their life on a daily basis? This is, of course, I'm talking about whenever we know someone really well. What are they using in their normal on a daily basis and that they love that I can upgrade for them? I think that is a good gift, something that you can just upgrade, something that they know. But as a general rule, first you want to think about the person and not the product. I think we initially go into products. So like, say if I'm thinking of my husband, Chris, let me think of items Chris would need or want. That's not going to help move me toward figuring out a gift for him. First, I want to say, okay, Chris, who is Chris? Chris loves food. He loves CrossFit. He loves exercise. He loves historical fiction. Like, I want to list out all of the things that makes him who he is. He loves trivia. He loves growing his intelligence. He likes adventure activities. And instead of just saying adventure activities, I'd be like, what specifically? He likes jumping out of airplanes. He likes driving fast cars. I would list all of these things out. And then you're going to then examine the traits of that person and then figure out gift ideas after you've identified the characteristics of the person. The second step would be you can add a personal touch to a gift. So if you had an event with someone over the past year or a special moment, like you could give them something as a memento that represents that. So like I went and saw Erin at Atlanta, so I could always print off a picture of us, put it on an ornament or put it in a little frame and send it to her. And that represents our time in Atlanta. And then the third tip would be you want to match the gift to the relationship. If it is a close friend or partner, you want it to be more thoughtful, personal, sentimental, or experience-based. If it's a coworker, a teacher, or something like that, that's whenever you're going to stick to the more practical gifts. Could be a gift card, could be something they could use, or fun gift that's kind of like cute and fun. So those are basically, I think, kind of the rules around gift giving or the guidelines to help you choose good gifts. But like, what are some of your favorite gifts, Erin?
Well, I wanted to say one thing really quick is I love how you said, think about the person, because I always do that where I just want to go to the gift. And so really spend some time thinking about that person and what makes them so unique. And so a gift that would be perfect for them. The other thing I wanted to say really quick is thinking about teachers. When my kids were in school, I made it my point to always make sure that their gift was, I usually did gift cards, but it could be like a gift card for a movie theater or a gift card for a restaurant or a gift card. If I knew that they loved coffee, I could get them a gift card for, Starbucks, because I'm not going to be one of those parents that gives a teacher a candle or an apple ornament, or a mug, because they're going to get 50 million of those. So I love how you said that about, kind of differentiating between somebody like a close relationship with someone, how you can make it really special and unique versus if it's a coworker or a child's teacher, making it a little bit more broad and less personalized. Can never go wrong with gift card, in my opinion.
People get hung up on the gift cards for teachers because they're like, I don't want to just give them a $10 or $15 gift card. I think that is perfect, you guys, because I think if you give a $10, you have to realize there's 30 kids in the class.
Yes.
So not everyone, but say if 10 of you gave gift cards, that's a lot. So
she or he was going to have like a nice little stash of gift cards to get them through the new year. I know a lot of people do have a hang up about gift cards because they think it's not personalized enough. But if somebody loves to go to, Nordstrom's, you can still get them a $25 gift card. I mean, they can go in there and buy a fun little pair of earrings or something.
Yeah. Or they can put it toward whatever else they have. Who knows, other people could get them something.
Exactly. Well, I have a couple of gifts that I think are perfect for the lady in your life, the friend. It could be your mother. It could be your best friend. And I love to give gifts that make people feel good, like kind of like a way for you to give yourself a mini spa day at home. So these four that I'm going to tell you really quickly are all ones that I think are good for kind of creating that spa day at home feel. And I don't know how to say this. It's Laneige.
Laneige.
Laneige, thank you.
Mhm.
I knew I was going to say it wrong because I'm like, I've never heard it pronounced. They're little pots with a little tiny dipper thing that you put it on. They have a lip sleeping mask, and
I
I
love it.
got one. I actually got for my oldest son's now fiance. I got her one last year, and I got myself one. Love it, and like I've actually rebought it because I ran out of the first one. It's from a Korean skincare company. If you don't know what we're talking about, and it has nourishing ingredients like shea butter and vitamin C that nourish your lips while you sleep. And you end up with silky soft lips, which is a huge thing. And it's a clean ingredient product. The other thing I think is always a good gift is a towel wrap. So one of those towel wraps and like that is adjustable, especially if it has a little pocket for their phone or like a little hairbrush or whatever. So somebody can put that on when they get out of the shower. I only wash my hair twice a week, but I can't get into clothes and blow dry my hair. So having a little wrap, then you can blow dry your hair so you don't get so hot, especially for us midlife gals if we're having a hot flash. The other thing that I love, and I use one every night. I have to sleep with my hair up on top of my head, even more so than it is today if you're looking at the video on YouTube, and is the silk scrunchies, because then they don't leave a crease in your hair that, you know, when you take it down, if you use those rubber band type ones or the kind of flexible ones, they leave that little line and you bring it down and you have this, you're like, oh yeah, that person had their hair up all night. So the silk ones don't leave any mark in your hair. Love those. And then the last thing I think that every woman needs is a microfiber hair towel, because when you get out of the shower and you put that on, then it helps dry your hair so that you don't end up having to use as much heat on your hair, especially us midlife gals too, who might be losing a little bit of hair with the change in hormones. We want to protect all the hair that we have. So those are my four kind of like spa day.
I love those. And to play on that, what is trending right now is a short sleeve terry cloth robe. And so those are really a huge draw this Christmas or this holiday season. I've actually never seen one, but as soon as I started seeing all the videos about it, I've never seen one in person, but when I started seeing all the videos about them, I was like, oh my gosh, this is genius. Yeah, because just like Erin was saying, so you could do like the towel wrap around you, with the Velcro, but they also now have short sleeve robes.
Which is so nice because the sleeves get in your way, make
Yeah,
you hot, and especially if it's a long, long robe. Because even in the winter, when you're blow drying your hair or you're curling it or whatever, you're running around getting ready, you're hot. So I
for
love that.
sure. And then I love, Erin mentioned the Laneige sleep mask. I've used that. I've given that as a gift. And I think it's around $20 and it will last you a long time if that is over budget. Like if you wanted to drop one in stockings and you've already spent enough other things or something. MCO Beauty, the letters MCO is how you, MCO. They are a very well-known Australia brand that dupes products, and they have one that, and I bought their lip mask. It's not quite as good as Laneige's, but it is very good. And so I do use that as well. I use them both. I keep Laneige by my bed and I keep the MCO one on the main level of my house. So I love those ideas. I also was thinking advent calendars are a fantastic idea for women and men. Well, advent calendars, you can get those on Black Friday or Cyber Monday sales, but not typically if it's luxury. So if you're looking at L'Occitane, Clarins, Saks, Bloomingdale's, like some of those like more bougier brands, those typically don't. I mean, now I'm not saying that they're not going to, they always could, but they don't. So they are limited edition. They only make so many of those calendars. So if there is a bougie one out there that you want, get it. Do not wait for the sale. And typically the companies that mark them on sale on Cyber Monday or Black Friday are going to be because they have an abundance of them or they're not selling quite as quickly. But there's also brands like Ulta is going to have a more affordable one, Macy's, and then Elf and Revolution Beauty. So if you're looking for like a teenager, both of those offer advent calendars too. That is so fun. Women love beauty gifts. So when in doubt, give beauty gifts. And then men also can do the advent calendars. Like they have, I just did a quick Google search because I was like, what is out there for that? Now, in the past, I've purchased a survival, like a big survival kit one from Amazon that was a hit. But they have whiskey ones, food snack ones. If you're got a fisherman in your life, they have fun fishing lures. They have men's grooming ones, or you could always do baskets. Like my husband will love a Pepperidge Farm basket. Like give him some sausage and cheese and he's happy.
Yes, exactly. Okay, well, I have some for this could be for the man or woman in your life, but they're what I would consider sleep oriented gifts. One is weighted blanket. And they also have weighted stuffed animals. A weighted blanket for the winter time is great because, having that weight on you, it helps to bring you into that parasympathetic state, which is your rest and digest. You feel cocooned. It probably takes us back to being in the womb when we were like snuggled up really tight. And, you think about when babies are born and they swaddle them and they like to have that feeling of compression. And there are lots of weighted blankets out there, and there are some that are specifically made that will give you the weight without the overheating. So, you could do a Google search on that. The other thing that I think, and I'm actually thinking about buying this for myself, is a wake up light sunrise alarm clock so that you don't have that jarring, meh, meh. Instead, it just makes it light. And I'm driven by light. I am kind of like a little plant. It's like when the sun comes up, I can't sleep once the sun comes up. I cannot sleep in. Even with my blackout, curtains.
So you don't, because I use an eye mask, because I do know those alarm clocks you're talking about are hugely popular. People love those, but I always sleep with an I would not see.
Yeah.
So
I
you
can't
don't do an eye
do an
mask.
eye mask because
I love it.
I feel like it ends up hurting my head, the sides. But I did see recently, this isn't on my gift list, but this would be a good thing. And it's an eye mask that goes over your ears and your eyes, but it's big and thick. And I've thought about trying it. It doesn't have the little
I like the
straw.
band. Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I've tried so many different eye masks and that band, it just ends up hurting my head. This is like it's like it goes in the back, it goes from the top of your head to the bottom, but it has a cutout for your nose and your mouth.
Okay.
Almost like a, full face thing that, and I've seen them. They're kind of expensive. I mean, the brand that I saw, it's like $60. And that's why I'm like, oh, would I really like it? Because I don't know but I sleep with a pillow over my head, but I keep my nose out because I like to have my ears covered because I hear every noise, it's
Yeah,
like,
me too.
as my husband says, I can hear a mouse farting down the road.
I hear everything.
Yeah. And then the last thing for the home, and I think something is there are really neat new smart diffusers that you can have with an app on your phone. And so you can control like turning on and off. I used to have the Young Living diffuser and put in the essential oils. You definitely want to use oils that are natural, that don't have byproducts in them. And you have to be careful when you use diffusers when you have like animals in the house. They have smart ones that will basically allow you to control them from an app on your phone. And they even will read the room's temperature and they'll adjust according to your preferences to it. So it's kind of like how now we have smart lights and all that kind of stuff. Everything's so smart nowadays.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I would like something like that. Yeah, that's nice. I love giving gifts that are like something that I think that when I'm thinking of my kids, or just this could work from anybody, something that I think that they would like, but then making it a little bit special, like upping it a little bit with something interesting with it. So books. My kids all love to read, and the girls are really big into fantasy genre. And if you have a young adult, or if you yourself or anyone are interested, like if you like ACOTAR or Fourth Wing or anything like that, there is a book that came out this year. It's called Alchemized, and it is the most highly anticipated book drop of the year. It's already got a movie deal, and the book hasn't even, before the book came out, it had a movie deal attached to it, and it's a standalone book. Anyway, so I got it as soon as it dropped. I've been reading it. It is a great book. It is fantasy genre. Last year, I gave Hannah a book series that she liked. She's also into antiques and like vintage, not antiques, vintage. She's into vintage stuff. I found her a sterling silver bookmark, and she also loves cats. And it's like a cat on one end and a mouse on the other end, and it has a silver chain attached to it, and it's from the 1940s. So I just flip, that's the bookmark. The chain goes in between the book, and you see the little cat at the top and the bottom.
That's cute.
She loves it. She thought, she was like, this is the best gift. Like she was so excited. So I think like a thoughtful bookmark, just go, you can go to Etsy and you can look up bookmarks. If you can print out a picture, not print out, you can get a picture of their pet. People love their pets on stuff. Get that put on a unique bookmark. If they have a favorite series they like, some type of a bookmark that's like an homage to that series, and give it to them with a new book. And then you can also go on to eBay, or like you can go to vintage stores, and I just like type on eBay vintage bookmarks, and then other things will come up, and then you can just see what resonates with that person. But if you're also looking for other like great books, The Secret of Secrets by Dan Brown is like the #1 suspense thriller this year. I know men especially love Dan Brown, but of course women, if they're really into thrillers or suspense. Oh, I also got Hannah last year a book embosser. And so if you have an avid reader, that's a really great. She was tickled to death. They are so inexpensive on Etsy. It was like $25. You have so many different images. You can put their initials on it, and she has stamped all her books. She has a little library growing. She loves it.
So cute. So it's funny, my oldest son is a huge reader like I am, but we read on our Kindle.
Oh yeah, so no, yeah, and a lot of people do that.
But he did, when you were talking about bookmarks, like 2 years ago when he was a real estate agent and he was like broke and didn't have much money, he made bookmarks for everyone in the family of pictures of him with his dog.
That's cute.
My mom still uses that bookmark of him. When she was here helping take care of me after my surgery, she was like, oh, she loves looking at that, because it has him and his little dog on there. One of the things that I give a lot is experiences, when you were talking about for Chris. So like last year for my son and his now fiance, I gave a class to a glass blowing class. Jeff and I had done one, and then I was like, oh my gosh, everyone needs to do this. I, think that any kind of like experience, I would much prefer to give experiences over like gift just to give because I need to give a gift. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like something fun, like give them concert tickets, give them tickets to some type of experience, like to the zoo, if it's someone that loves animals, or to the aquarium. Or we in Atlanta, we have a big aquarium, and you can do a behind the scenes, with the otters. Actually, for my birthday one year, I almost did it, but because I have a really big fear of like being in water. And I was going to try to overcome my fear, but it ended up just not working out. You can swim with the whale sharks and all that at the Georgia Aquarium. But there's all kinds of, things in your, depending on what city you live in, that you could give. I think experience a cooking class, Williams Sonoma or some of those places like that, they do little in-person cooking classes. If you have somebody that loves food, and maybe they aren't that great of a cook, but they can go and learn how to like make a signature meal, so that when they are entertaining, they will be able to make this one dish. So I think experiences are always just a big hit, depending on the person. Like Elizabeth said, think about the person, what interests them, and then pick an experience, especially if you're able to spend more money. I mean, typically experience gifts are a little bit more than like the lip mask.
Yeah, that'd be more like for your partner or your parent. Or so like my nephew got my in-laws tickets to an Orioles game, and that was or it was the Orioles Yankees. They're Yankees fans. They're gonna die if they hear I said Orioles game. It's a Yankees game.
Like, oh, wow. Yeah.
So anyway, that's not that expensive because there's so many baseball games. Anyway, they did that. You could do pro sports games. You could do, like near me, we have stained glass, make window classes. You could do that. Pottery. I know Hannah does that with her girlfriends. They go and they paint pottery. And that's a really fun gift because usually, like at least I haven't done it yet, but I would like to. But in Hannah's in Denver, once you pay to paint your pottery, you can go as many times as you want, and they'll hold it for you until you're finished. And so it's not just like you're paying for that one-time event. And it's like a perfectionist, and she's an artist, and so she was like really taking a lot of time. So she would go by herself like a couple times after that, just perfecting it before they put it in the kiln. That was kind of nice. And then I was thinking like theater tickets or like a weekend getaway could be good. Like you don't have to plan that. I think that's something hard to do if you don't know everyone's schedules or whatever, but you could always give your partner an IOU or like 2-night hotel stay and you could always already figure out like what resort you want to go to and do something like that.
Well, for my oldest son's birthday this past summer, I gave him a potter wheel, and I gave him a microwave kiln.
I love that.
and then a bunch of clay because he loved anything artsy. And so I was
That
like,
sounds very expensive.
it wasn't because I spend a set amount of money on them for their birthdays. So like they each get X amount of dollars spent on their birthday. The pottery wheel was they have some that are $49. I
Oh,
did
okay.
buy him a
I'm
little bit.
imagining like $1,000 for
Oh
a.
gosh, well, I'm sure there are pottery wheels. Yeah, no, I
Mhm.
bought him a home one, not a professional commercial grade. But he loves it. The reason that I spent a little bit more because this one had adjustable legs, and then the microwave kiln was like $30 on Amazon.
Wow.
You can't make a big giant thing. I mean, because it has to go into a microwave. And we had an old microwave from when our youngest was in college that we gave him because you can't use your regular microwave. I mean, you can, but then it can't be used with food.
Hmm.
So we had an old microwave that we gave him that had just been sitting in our garage. And then the clay for like 10 pounds of clay, it was like $15 or something.
Yeah, that's not, I mean, the whole thing, that's not expensive at all.
No, it wasn't. I mean, you can find a like very inexpensive potter wheels, but I got them a bit, I spent a little bit more on it. Yeah. So I think that, you can do all kinds of different little things. I mean, anything that a painting class or something for someone. I have a gift that I think would be perfect for most people, even if it's somebody you don't know well, is an Apple AirTag. Those are so good, or even the tile. If they're not an Apple person, if they don't have an Apple phone, people that can put them on their keys, you put it on your luggage, you can put it on your briefcase, anything that you like want to make sure that you always can keep track of. I think those are really good gifts that have a practical use.
Yeah, those are super pop. I don't think you can go wrong with the air tags at all.
No,
Um,
no.
so last year I gave one of my daughter's boyfriends a gift basket. I love this idea. So to me, I think this is like the perfect, like if you have a boyfriend or I like it for a boyfriend, but I guess you could do it for a girlfriend too. I feel bad because he's always buying her dinner all the time. And so I wanted to kind of help him with that. So I got a big gift basket. I bought a big pizza on a plate for like, or what is it? Pizza.
Like a baking pan, a pizza.
Yes, like a pizza pan, like a big pizza
I
pan.
didn't know if you
And
meant a pizza stone, like one of those.
no, I didn't, nothing fancy like that. I did just the pizza pan. And then I went to World Market and I got, because World Market is so fun. I'm
I
telling you
love
guys,
that place.
you can get such unique gifts at World Market from other countries. So I got from Italy, I got 100% Italian made pizza dough. I got Italian table wine. So I gave them a whole little experience. I got dessert. I put it all in there. And then I went to, he's a bicyclist. And so I went to a fair trade store. I always go to fair trade stores. My kids love those. If you don't know, it's kind of fair trade stores. What is the name of a popular one? I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know what that is.
A fair trade store, it's
Is it just where they buy things from ethical companies?
yes, from other countries to help third world
Yes.
countries. And so they
Yes.
pay for them their products up front. And so it's not based on what it sells for. So they are getting paid for the products that they've made. And then that store gets to sell them for whatever they sell them for. They have been paid and a fair wage. But it's cool because you get things from all over the world. And so you can buy really thoughtful, affordable gifts there. And so I got him to put in the pizza pan. He's a bicyclist, like serious bicyclist. So I got him a pizza cutter that was a bicycle and the two wheels were the pizza cutter.
That is adorable.
So I just did so I said dinner on me. And then well, that was his gift. Oh, and I got I put a blanket in there, like a cozy blanket. That was so inexpensive. But when you don't know what to give someone dating your child, I think I thought that was a great gift. He was so tickled to get that.
Yeah, that is so cute. It's very unique and original. It was like put together with different things. So it made it special, something you wouldn't just go and pick out.
Right. So it's so simple. I think that's the main thing I think with gifts is that it's so simple. It's just like an Italian, dinner basket. I drove out of my way. I was more thoughtful with it by making sure everything said 100% made in Italy, from World Market. I've got the pizza cutter, so I did things to make it a little bit more personable in there. But I did get the pizza pan and the blanket from Walmart. Like they were cheap. And in the basket, I believe I thrifted for like $5 and it was like a gigantic basket.
Yeah. Well, that's the last thing I was going to say is homemade gifts. And I've done this many times. One year I gave all my friends, I got they were Meyer lemons. Were they Meyer lemons? I think. And then I brined them. So they were kind of pickled but not like a pickle. And then, or they're called preserved. I'm sorry, that's what they're called, preserved lemons. And because one of my favorite dishes is this where you take a chicken and you get the butcher to cut out all the bones. I think it's called spatcotched or something. It's like where they take all the bones out. And then I bought them, it's harissa, which is like a spice, that's paste. And so what you do is you take this chicken I didn't give them cast iron pans because I think most people have them. Is a cast iron pan, and then you take another cast iron pan and you heat it up really hot. And so you fry it first, on it, covered in harissa. And then you put the other cast iron pan on top of it like a brick, and then you put it in the oven. So it's harissa chicken, and then you take the preserved lemons and you cut it up and you serve it with that as a relish. You add some olive oil and a couple other things. And so I gave them the printed out recipe to make this.
I like
I
that.
gave them the harissa and the preserved lemons. I made the preserved lemons. And I've done other things where I have given one of my favorite drinks that I have is called a London Fog, and it's Earl Grey tea. And so I gave them Earl Grey tea, a mug. I made lavender simple syrup from scratch, and then gave them a milk frother because then you make the tea, you add the lavender simple syrup, you froth the milk, you put it on top, and it makes a London Fog. So even if London Fog may not be their favorite drink, but because they have this homemade product from me, they might be more likely to make themselves a London Fog. So
Oh, for sure. I love that. I
yeah.
also love when people just give me breads, like zucchini bread. It's such a simple thing, but I get so excited. I'm like, oh, you made me a banana bread, a zucchini bread? Num num. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's the best. I don't ever think,
I thought about doing sourdough bread this year.
yeah, that would
I'm
be,
making sourdough, and I have my mother that's like 80 years old. I got it from this sourdough class that I took, which would be a great gift too, is the sourdough class. And so I feed her every week, and I love on her, and I make bread with her every now and then. But to give and you can make all kinds of add-ins and fold-ins, and yeah,
and if you have a Taylor Swift lover in your life, I think
Oh,
yeah, a sourdough gift. I sent one to Hannah right after Taylor Swift did that interview where she was like, I've been making sourdough. I hopped on Amazon. I was like, and I sent her a sourdough making bread kit, and she freaked out and thought it was the best thing ever. And so what I've learned from reading reviews on Amazon before you send one of those, make sure it has a glass jar I guess a lot of them come with plastic, and all the comments, the one I ended up getting, Hannah, all the comments were like, this one is so much better. I bought one, it was plastic. I mean, you guys, they're like $15. They're so inexpensive, the sourdough making kits. But if you have a daughter that's Taylor Swift, she's gonna love it.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I forgot that Taylor Swift was making sourdough. I'm like, girl, we've been making sourdough since like 2020.
I know.
COVID happened and everybody became, sourdough fanatics. Yeah. Well, can you think of any other gifts that are like
Yeah. I have like a
trending?
few more things listed out. I have a family of tea drinkers. And so again, like just putting a little bit more of a thoughtful twist on it. And so I gave like the tea organizing box, and then again, World Market, get some unusual flavored teas for them to try. And then you could also get flavored honey or different honeys to put. You can do a local honey would be ideal. And it kind of, I think, kudos if it has the comb in it. It looks extra cool, just for the little gift. And then you could always do a pretty mug with that. And that is like such a simple, easy gift. And you could even do tea cookies with it. Also, every year I give my family a new game to play. And so everyone's always like, well, let's see what the game's going to be this year. If you're looking for a good family game, Codenames is the most fun game. It allows you to work in teams. And so we always do like kids against adults. And it's fun watching your kids bond over this because they have to give each other clues to try to solve a puzzle. It's good. Also, keep in mind, Aaron and I both love athletic wear and like sweatshirts and cozy pants and stuff. And so when you're looking at someone like that, so for me, sure, a cashmere sweater would be lovely, but I live in sweats and comfy clothes. So a couple years ago, Chris got me an Aviator Nation sweatshirt, which I never would have bought for myself. They're like $200. It has a rainbow. I love anything with a rainbow. I like bright colors. And I think that was like one of the best gifts because I would never have bought it for myself, but I enjoy having it. And when when I opened it, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you spent $200. That was like my first thing. Like, you spent $200 on a sweatshirt, but I wear it all the time and I'm obsessed with it. So I think it's fun.
Your cost per wear, you've gotten your use out of it.
I definitely have. So for Aaron, like I have a lot of tennis shoes in a lot of different colors. Aaron has more tennis shoes in so many fun colors. That would be such an easy gift for her. It would be
Yeah.
like a color she doesn't have. And so like look at somebody how they're living their life and just see if you can enhance it like a little bit or do something that that she obviously loves fun tennis shoes. I do too, but hers are way more fun than mine mine are all like pastels. Aaron's are all like really bright, vivid, fun.
Well, but I'm a winter and you're a summer, so
yeah, I know it does work, but now I'm like, I want some bright tennis
yeah,
shoes.
you need some bright hot pink tennis shoes.
I do. So
Yeah, you
it's
gotta tell me
super.
what size you wear so I can find them for you. Well, I had two more quick ones too.
Yeah.
Everybody loves, which Lululemon has, the kind of infamous one, the belt bag. You can never go wrong with one of those. You can get them in fun colors. They don't have to be from Lululemon. Everybody has their own spin on one. Target has them. And so even if somebody has one, but if you get them a different color, get them a fun color, one that they may not wear every day, but they might just break it out, like when I break out my colorful tennis shoes. So those are really good because they're just great for the person on the go. And then the last thing that I was going to suggest, and I know is they have the weighted wrist or ankle weights that are kind of look like a bracelet. And especially again, for us gals that are in midlife, that are going through menopause, perimenopause, menopausal, where we're always looking to try to add a little bit of extra weight to our day or add a little bit extra of resistance in our daily life. A weighted vest is great, but you don't want to wear that to the publics.
Okay, so somebody asked me the other day if weighted vests were a joke because it's like just a trend. And I said, I'm pretty sure Aaron and I talked about this in a previous podcast where you were saying they are beneficial. Like
definitely, because they add some resistance for sure, and so for bone density. But then the weighted wrist,
the wrist, or they have ankle ones.
A little bracelet. There's just a way if somebody is not able to devote the time to going to get a workout in or to do a workout at their home, if they have limited time, they can put one of those and they can go through their day so they could get a little bit more kind of a workout in a non-workout way.
Yeah, I think that those are all great. The only other thing I was going to say is about the gift thing was if you have a really picky person, how to buy a gift for that person. I think that picky people are generally more practical gifts are better for them. And something that is made a practical gift or something that is higher quality than something like trendy or flashy. But then also keep in mind that if the picky person is like a coffee connoisseur and they have their whole system of how they make coffee, don't buy them a new coffee pot. They probably love the one they have because they're very picky. But you could go to World Market and buy a few different coffee flavors for them to, or different beans from different places around the world for them to try, but maybe not like disrupt their system if they're very like more methodical. And then Aaron and I talked about, we both love gift cards. I love a gift card.
Yeah, and if all else fails, maybe even just like if it's somebody who's super picky or they have everything, is write them a song. Jeff, I had him write me a song one year because I'm kind of hard to buy for, I think, for him because
how do you write a song?
He wrote me a song. I don't know. I mean,
like, with music, like put music.
Well, he didn't write the music, but it was more so.
More like a love letter,
but it was more of a poem.
Okay.
But I mean, he sang it to me
without
music. So, I mean, write somebody a love letter or write them, even if it's a friend, a note of like, these are the things that I love about you. These are the things that I see that are the best in you. These are where I think you have so much, talent or your special gifts that you have for the world. So even just a nice letter to somebody, if they're super picky and you are like my mom, she's very hard to buy for because she's super practical, doesn't want anything. So even just a really nice note or letter or card that just has the things that you love and appreciate about them, I think could be a good one.
I love that. I think that's all I have for gifts. I do have a hot topic, but do you have anything else with gifts?
Nope, that was it. So give me the hot topic.
This video is going viral of this mom who is around the age. I mean, if somehow this gets back to her, if I get your age wrong, I'm sorry. I would assume 35. maybe,
Okay.
maybe 30, 35. And she has about an 8-year-old daughter that the daughter is very messy in her bedroom, and the mom can't get the daughter to clean the room after she says she's tried multiple things. Doesn't list what they are, but she says I'm sure she has, and the daughter's just not doing it. So she made fake rat poop and hid it around the daughter's room and told the daughter that, a rat was in there because her room is dirty and she needs to clean it. Well, then she films the daughter, and the daughter's hysterical crying. And she's like, I'm posting this on social media for everyone to see what a dirty little girl you are. And the daughter is hysterical. She's like, Mommy, please don't post it. Please don't. But she's like, nope, you don't clean your room. You've got rat poop in your room now. I'm posting it. And I'm like horrified for this little girl. Like, look, I'm not above the rat poop. I never did anything like that, but I do see how that could work. But
Yes.
I'm not about to post a video of my daughter hysterical, crying, and posting to the world like that she's dirty and saying that when she's hysterical, begging me not to. But the crazy part was the comments. I mean, it had literally like 50,000 comments or something crazy. It's like millions of views and likes and stuff. And everyone is supporting the mom, saying good job. And to me, I'm like, you just fractured your relationship with your daughter. Like, that's all I see in that. Now, it could be all young people in their 20s or something, their 30s, but I would hope that our listeners would see how.
See, I would think that the younger crowd
Would be
would
more
say,
like woke.
I would think they would be like, that's the worst thing you could ever do.
Yeah.
Whereas our generation or our parents' generation are like,
They totally would have done that.
spoil the child type of, so that I would be curious to see what the demographic of the comments for pro.
I know. I wish we could. We can't. I wish.
I know you can't, but yeah. Now I have in some of my groups that I'm on Facebook a member of that are like mom groups or midlife groups, and I have a child that's a teenager that's messy, and they've done the rat poop thing, the fake rat poop, to scare them. But I don't know, humiliation is never the way to try to correct behavior, I don't think. And that's what it was. She's trying to use humiliation to get her daughter to, be cleaner or be neater. But I just think it's going to backfire. I think you're exactly right. That would fracture the relationship.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, I feel like they always say that our parents are our first bullies. And I think in this case, even when not knowingly, so if you're like, whoa, that was if you've never heard that, you might be like,
I've never heard that. That's awful.
It is awful, but it's true. Like, if your parent says, like, I mean, our generation didn't do this, but, our parents' generation, I didn't experience, my mom didn't do this, but I do know it was common to be like, what are you, stupid? Don't do that. It's your first parent is telling you you're stupid. Or like, just, they always say your parents are your first bullies. Like, therapists say that all the time.
Heard that, but my oldest son called me not too long ago. He was checking out. He called me and I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like it was random, and I'm like, "What are you just calling to tell me what a great mom I am?" I was kidding, and he goes, "No, actually, I am. I must have." Like intuitively picked up on it. He said, I was just at Walmart and I was checking out, and there was a lady with 2 boys that were like, he said they were probably 4 and 6, 5 and 7. He doesn't have kids, so he's not that great about picking ages out. And he said, hearing the way that mother talked to the boys, like she was dropping the F-bomb, calling them effing stupid. He's like, oh my gosh. He's like, first off, it took everything he could not to like say something to her, but he knew that wasn't going to be productive at all. But he said, I was just like, my heart was breaking for these little boys. And I just wanted to tell you, thank you for being such a good mom.
Aww.
I'm like,
That's so sweet.
I know I was not perfect. And there was many things that I wish I could go back and do. But I mean,
but I never bullied my kid.
No.
And like a common way mothers bully daughters is by attacking their weight. And so you have to but like in this situation of this video, like this little girl, like she knows in that instant, she cannot be vulnerable with like her at that age. Her biggest issue, probably like personal issue, is that she can't keep her room clean. And me as a woman with ADHD, and I have a daughter with ADHD, that is a trait of ADHD when you're little, not being able to clean. So I know like when I was raising my daughter with that, like I would say, hey, she's better in a team. Leaving her in an overwhelming mess by herself and expecting her to do it is not healthy. She can't, her brain cannot process that. So it was always like, hey, let me go in and help you. and in putting systems and organizations in place in her room where everything has a place where she knows where everything goes. And that might be the case in the situation. She might have done that in the past. I'm not sure. So I'm not going to like shame her like that. I will say there is an element of like, let's do this together, I think. And I don't know. I just think that she's definitely fracturing. I did comment on it. I don't ever comment negative. Something's been up with me the past 3 weeks. I've commented sassy on a few things, which normally I don't. And I did comment on her post and I said, hey, I have 2 daughters and they're adults now in their 20s. The way I got my girls to clean a room was I didn't say that I joined one of them to help her, which I wish I would have. But I did say, I mean, in the beginning, I had to until she got into a rhythm and understood, like, okay, we can do this. There's a process here, where everything goes. But I just said, like, they had a rule in my house that by Friday night, like at 8 p.m., it had to be a reasonable time. It couldn't be 11 p.m. You decide to clean your room and then you want to go out. 8 p.m., your room has to be clean or you don't get to socialize that following week. And so it was like, I let you do whatever you wanted in your room all week. And then you have to have some accountability and clean up your mess. Like, so it's up to you if you want to be on top of it and be orderly, or if you want to wait till all Friday and then deep clean. There is that uncomfortable time when they didn't do it and they couldn't do anything the following week. And I had to stick my ground and say, no, you know the rule. Like, I don't need to be mad at you. I don't need to be like, this is your fault. I don't need to use like ugly words like that. I just say, no, this is our house rule. Like 8 p.m. Friday night, your room has to be clean. If it's not, the drill. I wish you could go out. Trust me. Like, I don't necessarily want to be around you when you hate me right now, but this is the rule.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you made the house rule, and then if you don't follow it, you just have to enforce the consequences, but it's not personal.
Right. It's not personal. We don't
You made
shame
it
them.
very
We don't
personal.
humiliate them. We don't
Yeah.
like say it's like a character flaw. No, it's a decision. Like, you just made a different decision. Oh, so I commented on that post and I said that. And then she commented back. I was respectful in my comment. And I just said, hey, this works for me. And I'm concerned because you're publicly shaming your daughter. And she said, well, I'm glad that works for you, but this is what works for my daughter. And I was like, okay.
Well, it doesn't
It
work.
works. It might work right now, but in the long term, you're probably going to have a fractured relationship.
Totally. I mean, your parents are supposed to be your ride or dies. Well, I know we are kind of ending on a sad note, but hopefully some of the info that we gave about gift giving and how to give a good gift, you will find beneficial for this holiday season. You want to definitely make sure that you've hit the follow button on the podcast so that every week when we drop a new episode, you are notified immediately.
Yeah. And be sure to watch this full episode on YouTube, and we will see you next Wednesday. And I'm going to try to end things on a happier note with a happier hot topic. But I do like to share stuff like this because I think eventually we're all likely going to be grandmas, right? And so maybe we can help our young adults with some insight and wisdom the more comfortable we get with talking about some of these uncomfortable things. Like, maybe it'll flow easier if we ever have to deal with it.
Yeah, life isn't all rainbow and, ice cream cones. So sometimes we get a little bit of rain. So we have to like learn to be, to deal with it and see how we can, learn from it. So
yeah, and we're always mentoring our kids, no matter how old they are.
Exactly.
Anyway, have a great week, you guys.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
This has been a production of Estrogen Dropouts, LLC.